You're listening to the PRO Media Network, the next level in entertainment.
When I say who are we, you say Saints. When I say are we ready, you say who? Who are we? Say, who are we? Say, who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Say, who are we? Say, who are we? This is New Orleans. Let's go, baby. Let's ride. We don't play what you do.
Hello, New Orleans. You're listening to the Sport Coma, your number one podcast on everything Saints and a lot more. And now, here's your host, Big Q and her guys.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. You listen to podcast 428 on the podcast. I'd like to thank all our new and established family for joining us today on the Sports Coma. After a terrific live stream last night, we were able to kind of recap the game and the best way we could, making sense of some of the things that happened. But in this podcast, we'll talk about the layover or the hangover of what happened that occurred. In this episode, we'll talk about Drew Brees, man. He's expected to have surgery. Of course, we covered this last show. We know it wasn't going to be good, but according to it, he's to have surgery to repair torn ligaments in his thumb. He's expected to miss 6 weeks of action. This is big news right here. This was broken earlier today, and we'll go into that, break that down as well. And if that don't float your boat, got some more injury news we're going to give you, as Alex Anzalone is then placed on the injured reserve as well. So Drew is going to be out for 6 weeks. Anzalone is placed on the injury list. We'll go over that as well and break that down today, and then talk about other things pertaining to now that Bridgewater is the quarterback that should be leading the Saints into the next handful of games. I mean, literally a bunch of games that the Saints have to now really look at. This is a different team, family, to be quite honest with you. What will the Saints do? You know, what should we do facing to be without Drew for the next 6 weeks? What should be done here? What are some of the things that we can look at and improving moving ahead? So we'll cover all that on the podcast. Before we get going, I'd like to ask all you, the new and established, if you're not a subscriber of the show, please feel free to join the podcast today. Hit the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button, hit the notification button. If you're on Twitter and other of our social media families, please feel free to hit the links and share the show wherever you may go. Saints forums, whatever. Feel free to take the Sports Coma with you. And here we go. Big loss, man, losing Drew Brees yesterday, man. It was a huge loss. We lost him in the first quarter. Ultimately ended up losing the game. Too bad. Just losing against a terrible losing in the fashion to a terrible team like the Rams. Not terrible in terms of talent, but, you know, having that disgusting rivalry with them and ultimately losing our top quarterback and now having to fight or find a way and support what is a Super Bowl season for the Saints. A little adversity, but do not lose heart, Saints family. Do not lose your heart. Do not lose focus. Do not lose, you know, to think that the Saints are not going to be able to get to the Super Bowl because of this. We should be able to do some things. So let's get right into some of the first news here. Looking at the first story, Drew Brees is going to be out for 6 weeks now. You know, you look at some of the things that we see. His hand slammed into Aaron Donald's, and of course the fear was realized Monday as he went and seen a specialist, like he said during the press conference. He played it last night on the live stream, and it was confirmed that he tore a ligament in his thumb on his throwing hand and will need surgery to repair it. And according to Ian Rappaport's and NFL's.com, Ian Rappaport, that he's expecting to miss the next 6 weeks of action. Now, the specific ligament torn is the ulnar collateral ligament, the UCL, in his thumb, according to reports from the former NFL team doctor David Chow. Now, the Saints, Sean Payton declined to comment Monday regarding the specificity of Brees' injury, saying doctors are still in the midst of evaluating. Now, Mike Tripoli reported that he'll be meeting Dr. Tom Hunt, a Houston-based hand specialist, for a second opinion Tuesday. So it should be some more information. Hopefully the news is good, and the length of time, if there's any that he's out, will be shorter than longer. But again, it's a part of our sport, said Payton. When asked about how he feels about the team the Saints have built and what are the other 52 players going to do without Brees, Payton said, we're getting ready to find out. So he sustained that injury midway through the first quarter at the end of the Saints' second consecutive offensive series. On the 3rd and 8, Donald rushed Brees from the right side, breaking past Pete, and just slammed his hand into Drew's hand, and ultimately you could see him flexing his hand as he walked away, and he couldn't even grip the football. Now, this is pretty difficult for Drew, as he said in the post-game press conference last night. He's been in the league since 2001 and has been with the Saints since 2006, and in 19 seasons, Brees has become the NFL's all-time leading passer, league's career leader in passes completed. He's earned 12 Pro Bowl distinctions and has been the NFL's MVP, Offensive Player of the Year twice, and Super Bowl MVP as well. And it's just one of those things we're looking at Drew, and we know that Drew will be back. It's just a matter of time. Now, backup Teddy Bridgewater came in for Drew and played the rest of the game, and he's seen his first significant action since before the devastating near career-ending knee injury he suffered in 2016, completing 17 of 30 passes for 165 yards, also rushed 5 yards, and was sacked twice. Now, he is now taken over for the team, and he has been in the league since 2014. Speaking about Bridgewater, the Vikings drafted him in the first round back in 2014. He's earned Pro Bowl honors in 2015 after throwing for 3,200 yards and 14 touchdowns. And according to what Payton said, I thought he did a great job in the tough circumstances. He declined to answer any questions regarding what the team would do without Brees, only saying, quote, "I'm just going to answer hypothetical questions right now. We'll have a plan either way." Brees underwent X-rays imaging at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. He later saw Los Angeles-based hand specialist Dr. Shin after the game, according to various reports. And remember, Shin repaired the UCL in the left thumb of Los Angeles Angels outfielder Mike Trout back in 2017. And he did some finger work for Chris Paul back when Chris Paul played for the Clippers. So the guy has a pretty decent resume. And after the game, Brees said he felt the injury immediately, couldn't grip the ball. Added he's never had a harder time gripping the football. So with Brees out for 6 weeks, the Saints schedule lines up. They're now 1-1 over the next several weeks. They consist of games against Seattle, who's 2-0, Dallas, who's 2-0, Tampa Bay 1-1, Jacksonville 0-2, Chicago 1-1, and Arizona 0-1. So very difficult matchups. Some of those games the Saints should be able to win without Drew, but if you see some of the games that we listed, that I just listed, it's going to be interesting to say the least. Now, moving forward to the next story, despite losing Drew for 6 weeks, and of course, like we just reported, that he'll see a second specialist on with Tuesday to see if that diagnosis that he received from the first guy is on par. So we'll see how that works as well. But if that is not enough, another bad news for the Saints is that linebacker Alex Anzalone was placed on injury reserve today. The details wasn't at least, but after losing Drew, the team placed starting linebacker Alex Anzalone on injury reserve Monday, according to league's daily transaction reports. It's not known what injury Alex Anzalone sustained, but he missed a significant chunk of the preseason with shoulder injury. The first time he practiced fully after sustaining that injury was in September the 7th. And he was quoted as saying it's good to get back out there. But Alex Anzalone only played 18 snaps against the Rams, or 26% of the defensive players. The Saints drafted him in the 3rd round of 2017. He's dealt with several injuries, a boatload of injuries since he's been with the team, trying to overcome. When he's healthy, he's a force, but these injuries are just a part of the game with Alex Anzalone, a product of Florida. Had 4 sacks, 5 tackles, 8 losses, 8 quarterback hits, and 82 tackles in 2 full seasons, plus the first 2 games of the 2019 season. It's the second time in 3 seasons that Alex Anzalone has landed on the injury reserve. He's missed most of the 2017 season with a shoulder injury. And Alex Anzalone is the 4th linebacker the Saints have placed on the injury reserve dating to the preseason, also putting Will Compton, Colton Jumper, Josh Martin, and now Alex Anzalone joins them on the injury list. So a lot of stuff going on with the Saints in terms of them now facing losing Drew for 6 weeks. Now Alex Anzalone is going to be out as well. But Alex Anzalone's situation, we'll know more about it down the line. But the Saints did brace for Alex Anzalone's situation by sending Vince Bidrell, the special team ace, out to Miami to get Kiko Alonso. So for people who really wanted to see some sports or see some better linebacker play from the Saints, Kiko Alonso should make an appearance with the Saints coming up in this second week, the third weeks and fourth weeks moving ahead now that Alex Anzalone has been placed on the injury list. So a lot of people that's Kiko Alonso want to see what he's going to do. You're gonna get your opportunity to see what he's made of moving ahead. Just significant, man, real significant things. Now, moving ahead, there was an article from Clutch Sports that said NFL execs say that Teddy Bridgewater and a better Saints D can make the playoffs. And that was something that was interesting that was put out there. And it was saying, however, one NFL exec around the league is relatively optimistic about Bridgewater, saying, quote, "I think Bridgewater can be that player again." Now, he recently told Mike Sando of The Athletic that you give Andy Dalton a Vikings defense and a run game when Teddy Bridgewater started out, and you get into the playoffs too. The issue is really the Saints defense and how well it can play. That's one league exec saying. I thought that was interesting. I had to bring it before the family to see that a lot of people believe the same thing. We spoke as much during the last live stream about Teddy Bridgewater, is that now that the game plan needs to shift toward the Saints become more of a run-based team, more of a run-based team, setting up the run first and the pass off the run, like what happened in the second half of the Houston Texans game when the Saints didn't have any rhythm, where they just were pass happy against the Texans early on, couldn't really get nothing established until then they went to the second half, made the adjustment, started rushing the ball, and then started working the play action in, and then the offense came into sync in the second half of the Texans game to help bring them back in that game and kind of get them ahead. This is what needs to happen. Against the Rams, the running game was non-existent, and they just were off kilt by the fact that Drew wasn't out there, and even though Teddy Bridgewater participated, a lot of people lambasted Teddy Bridgewater, a lot of commentary on Teddy Bridgewater. Jeff Champagne sent me a lengthy message via YouTube, and he's saying that I gotta preach for Bridgewater, which I have to agree with Jeff and several other great Sports Coma family members who's saying that this is not all hanging on Teddy Bridgewater's shoulders. And I've seen all kind of people all across the spectrum lambasting Teddy Bridgewater 8 ways from Tuesday. Whether you like him or not, guess what, family? This man is your quarterback until you get Drew Brees back. So killing them out in the public or online is not going to help your chances of winning. The Saints understand that he has limitations because he don't know the offense as well as Drew does, and that he will have to then seek into game manager mode. This is all on Sean Payton. It's not so much Teddy Bridgewater. The preparation is on Payton to come up with a plan that scales to the strength of the quarterback, knowing that how he did that with Drew Brees. He now has to play to the strengths of Teddy Bridgewater. And I would say playing to the strengths of Teddy Bridgewater is allowing the Saints running game to carry a lot of the weight, running the ball more effectively and creating the play action off of that. All of the gadget plays is fine and dandy and all this kind of stuff, but the Saints have to be able to have the right personnel out there. They're going to have to prepare correctly. They're going to have to come out and play seriously. They have a very difficult game coming up against Seattle. They're 2-0. That's one of the more difficult places to play in the NFL in Seattle. And the Saints are going to have to tilt the game plan in terms of what my suggestion is, make Teddy Bridgewater just the game manager right now until he can pick up that offense. It's going to take at least several contests for him to finally feel comfortable in that offense. So let the running game with Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara be the bell cow to set the offense up. And, of course, people like Jared Cook can't have 2 catch performances on 7 targets. He's going to have to step up, and he's going to have to earn that money. Jared Cook is making good money at the tight end position over the next 2 years, and we can't allow him to be fumbling catches to interceptions and dropping passes like he did up against the Rams. This is ridiculous. There were several opportunities because he could have really helped him just straight up dropping the ball. Same with Mike Thomas, the $100 million man. We cannot allow this to happen. These guys must step up to play. That's why they're making big money. Mike Thomas, Jared Cook have to show up to help Teddy Bridgewater. So does Alvin Kamara, Latavius Murray. And Sean Payton has to utilize these guys. He has to give Latavius Murray the ball on short yardage plays, 3rd and 1, 2nd and 1, instead of using Alvin Kamara in 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 situations. He needs to give the ball to the 6'4", 235-pound running back that he's paying for. Utilize the man. And of course the Saints have several injuries. We had a few things that was going on. We haven't heard a word on Tre'Quan Smith. We had a lot of inactives. We should see Austin Carr. Keith Kirkwood was also hurt. Later on in the week, we'll see what's the status on some of these players right here. But as far as right now, it is what it is. Tre'Quan Smith suffering from that leg injury that he curled. He got kind of rolled up on his leg. An ugly play injury indeed. And it's just, man, we just have to next man up. Austin Carr is there. If Keith Kirkwood is not there, we have to look to the practice squad and hopefully bring one of the guys in that can help keep this thing going. And remember, it has to be a run balance attack, working the run and the play action off the run, playing defense. The Saints have to step up. They have to play better defense, especially on the back end of the defense. The special teams, not the special team, the secondary has looked absolutely horrible. Marshawn Lattimore was toasted for touchdowns last week. Eli Apple was lost. Really crazy as it is, P.J. Williams was the best looking cornerback in the secondary. Can you believe that? So this is absolutely lunacy, man. The Saints have to they have to be able to gain control again. And guess who you have? You have to go to Seattle and take on Russell Wilson, who's a guy who can scramble on you. He's just as accurate on the run as he is standing in the pocket. And they have Jadeveon Clowney and a couple of weapons, and they're standing up there 2-0. You got to go in there and knock them off, or risk going 1-2 in the early parts of the season. We just got to keep it together long enough until Drew Brees comes back. And I think with Teddy Bridgewater as a manager, the running game, and all other offensive parts doing their part, we should be able to win more than a handful of games while Drew Brees is away. That'll do it for the Sports Coma. Thank you for listening. If you like the show, please feel free to subscribe to the family. Join the family. We ask you. Check the merch links below for all the latest Sports Coma merchandise. It helps the platform. Join and become a Patreon of the show to help the platform as well. And from me and the family here at the PRO Media Network and the Sports Coma, thank you for joining us. Who dat? Peace.
If you haven't heard the Sports Coma, this is what you're missing. Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
HomeBistro.com. Freshly prepared, home-delivered, restaurant-quality gourmet meals delivered straight to your home. Choose from over 50-plus gourmet meal options cooked by world-class chefs and delivered frozen, ready to eat within minutes and no commitment. Welcome to the one-shop gourmet food delivery, specialized affordable options to eat right and feel great. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Every ingredient is handpicked to the highest standard. And why you should buy from HomeBistro.com? Restaurant quality, made with natural ingredients, delivered right to your door. Overnight shopping is available. Diabetic, paleo, heart health, and vegetarian options to eat. Doing business since 1999. Courteous, knowledgeable, and professional support. Complete PCI compliant SSL security ordering, and great meals. Choose from some of my favorite dishes: the Mediterranean chicken with orange honey sauce, the charbroiled chicken romesco, or the grilled chicken breast with sweet and spicy vegetables. No matter what you choose, you can't lose with HomeBistro.com. Eat great, feel good, and save some money with HomeBistro.com. Hit the link in the description section below for more information.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet need it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top rated and review coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top rated and review coverage for your pet today. Go to EmbracePetInsurance.com. That's EmbracePetInsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Follow the Sports Coma on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube.